Hi everyone, this is Liz from Creative Life of Liz, and I'm here planning for the week of July 1st through the 7th. This is in my B&R Paper Crafts Plan B planner. This is a nice week where it starts out on a Monday for the start of the quarter, so love that. But this week I am using, instead of a regular kit, I have basically a stack of leftovers that are all patriotic themed, which seemed appropriate since Thursday is July 4th or Independence Day here in the US. So I have the leftovers from Vintage Glam Studio from the kit I used for Memorial Day. Some of these are very 4th of July-esque, so I'll pull some of that in. I have this wiggle in red and blue from Scribble Prints Co. I'm not going to open it right now, but I'll be using a couple of those pieces. I have this from kit 7107, which has the Statue of Liberty and some date dots, so I'm going to use those for the date dots. I have these 2 pages from kit 77 from Avalon 9th. That are, they seem kind of patriotic colored, so I thought they would be appropriate as well with the like flame from the Statue of Liberty on here, so I'm going to use some of those. And then I have these 2 pages from Britannia Nicole. These are from like 100 years ago. Her shop's been closed for a long time, honestly, but just some pieces here. So you'll notice I don't really have any full boxes. I have these from like, since it's a monthly kit, they're like month height boxes and they're slightly too wide for the thing and whatever, but we're gonna figure it out, and I'm gonna figure out how to use at least some of these pieces. I'm not totally sure. We're gonna make it up as we go. But in the meantime, what I'm going to do is, my plan is to stick down the date covers. I'm going to sit down the headers in the to do today, this and more order. I think that's going to work out. I have somewhere over here, I have too many pages. And now I'm dropping things on the floor. I have an I Buy 'Em fine liner just so I can write July up here. And then I did pull out this Scribble Prints Co. Shiny Red Hollow washi in the 10mm size. I'm going to use that plus part of this Scribble Prints Co. wiggle for the bottom washi. My plan, so I have like flags and bows and headers and 2 sets of date covers, but my plan is to use just, I think just the little stars and then this guy for the bottom washi, and I think that's going to turn out. And I'm going to stick these guys down, I think. I kind of want to intermix them with these. I think they'll fit. They're a little long, so maybe I'll stick those in the sidebar. Okay, so we're just going to figure it out as we go. I'm going to stick some stuff down, and I will be back soon so that we can talk through the interesting bits. All right, here is where we are at so far. Definitely, I'll give a little wiggle and a twerk. The bottom's looking great. I skipped the pink boxes here because I like the bits of pink, but I don't feel like we need more pink, you know? Anyway, so I think that's pretty much that, as it were. So now we need to deal with the sidebar. I do have a few things that'll work for some sidebar pieces. I'm gonna skip these guys again because we have this other stuff here. Some things from this maybe. Okay, we're gonna see how this goes. I think I'm gonna start out, so these are like wider than a standard box. Are they the same width here? Yeah. So these are wider than a standard box, but I kind of don't care. So we're gonna make it work. I guess we'll go with this one here. put it like a little bit to either side. Slightly more on the inside, since that's usually how the boxes turn out. Okay, starting out with that guy. And then I'm gonna follow it with a header from here. I'm not gonna leave any gaps because I don't wanna leave the lines showing awkwardly. So start out with some important, as it were. And these guys are gonna be slightly too narrow. So I'm just gonna try to center them. There we go. I think that seems okay. Let me see. I do have somewhere. There we go. Instagram from Piper Paper Company. I'm gonna stick that. I guess we'll stick it on the top one. This is now Jessica Aaron Designs. All that. Okay. So I've got that sorted out enough to get that far. And then I think, let's say we have this week, next week, happy mail, cleaning time, being an adult, important, shopping. And then we also have all these feed me's, which I could just use one of those for the sidebar. I'm gonna do that. I don't even know if I'm really planning dinners that well this week, but it's fine. It's still nice to try, I guess. Despite travel and everything that's gonna happen. Okay. Now that is done. And then which header do I want? Maybe I'll use the one that says goals. And again, I got to do like the centering thing since now we're back to the wide stuff. And then I'm going to put down one of these guys. There we go. And that turns out the perfect length. I think it actually looks okay. It doesn't really bother me that it gets skinnier in the middle and then wide again. I'm just going to leave it. Okay. This little me time is trying to fall off because this is an oops. So I'm just going to stick that there. Okay, so starting off with Coffee Monday, which those of you who've been around in the planner community a long time know this used to be very popular. Not so much a thing anymore, but we're gonna stick that up. Do I wanna put it into do? We're gonna leave it into do, whatever. And then I do need to mark, I could put this back so that we can, you know, focus a little more. I do need to mark work. So I think I'm going to use, do I want to use the rounds or the flags? I'm going to use the rounds. I'm just feeling them from the Vintage Glam Studio kit. So I have a little round for work. And then do I want to use like a little TV? These are all slightly too long, so I need to just trim them when I use them. Sure, let's use one of the little TV little things. Oh, they're actually not too long. Great. Okay. So that'll be for my plan with me. That will go up. There we go. And then I think that's everything for Monday. Tuesday, I'm putting most of my like things I would usually put at the top kind of in the middle under today, since I'm not necessarily sticking in like full boxes anywhere. I might just kind of like stick in some deco and trim some boxes and things like that as we go. So that's kind of my strategy. We'll see how that works out. Next up, Tuesday, I got work. That's all I've got. And then again on Wednesday, more work. Okay, that pretty well summarizes the first half of the week. So super exciting, I know. And I should mark, we have hump day in here. So I'm gonna stick that in. Oops, wrong day. Because we have it. Do I have the camels still from Avalon and 9th? I do. That also says hump day though. So I'm just gonna only put one in because I feel like it doesn't need to say that twice. That seems like a lot. Okay, that's done. All right, there's the first half of the week. And then moving into the second half of the week, that's where things get a little different than typical. I don't have any flight icons anywhere. I was kind of hoping I would have some. I mean, I have some in my leftovers, but I want to use the kit. So I'm going to use these two guys, I think, to mark flights. So first off, Thursday, I'm going to put it up into do, I think. Maybe I'll move it down a little. Hang on. I think perhaps before we put in the flights, I'm going to put in maybe this one. It says, "Let freedom ring." So we can know it's 4th of July. I mean, obviously we know that, but... and then I'll put my flights after this poor sticker. I'm really like struggling. Stick that down here at the bottom into do. And then we'll figure out what goes into today. We'll see how that goes. Friday, I do have, since we're on the retro setup, a Friday sticker. There we go. And then I do want to stick down, maybe I'll use this red one, for my video that'll go up. I think that's going to be the June monthly. You'll see it before before you see this video, so you'll know what's up by then. And then Saturday and Sunday, the only thing I have planned right now is, I'm going to stick it down here again, is our flight to go home at the end of the day. So I think that's everything I can do for pre-planning. It's a little bare bones for sure, but also that's just kind of where we're at right now. So here is where we are at with pre-planning. I think it's looking cute. I'll do a little wiggle and a twerk. Maybe I can pull in a little more foil. Maybe I'll just leave it as it is. We'll see how that goes. But stick around for just a second and you can see the finished spread. All right, here's the finished spread. I'll do a little wiggle and a twerk. It's mostly just the bottom that's foiled, but I still think it's super cute. This was just all leftovers. I still have a ton of leftovers left, honestly. I have most of this wiggle. I have a couple of full box checklists. I have some date dots. I have a few pages in here of things left. This one's an Avalon, a 9th page. There's a couple of Britannia Nicole's. I did use up the rest of the boxes in here though. And then still a few leftovers in the Vintage Glam Studio kit. So I'm going to throw that all in my leftover stack. Now it's to a point where I would pull them in to go with a overarching kit. So I think I made a pretty good amount of progress. The bottom washi, the bottom one is from Scribble Prints Co. The top one is from Simply Gilded. This pen is an I Buy M fine liner from Amazon. The headers, the date covers, as well as all of these headers, are from Avalon and 9th, as are all of these checklists. On the side, most of this stuff comes from Britannia Nicole. So these things, these two, those two are from Avalon and 9th. This is a Jessica Aarons Designs, formerly Piper Paper Company, little Instagram. These are Avalon and 9th, and then these down here are that Britannia Nicole. Over here, these couple are Britannia Nicole. These couple, and actually this one, are all from the Vintage Glam Studio, and then the little thing is Britannia Nicole. This is Vintage Glam Studio, Britannia Nicole, Vintage Glam Studio, Britannia Nicole. And then over here, Britannia Nicole, Vintage Glam Studio, Avalon and 9th. These two are from Vintage Glam Studio, and this one is from Britannia Nicole. And then over here, Vintage Glam Studio, Britannia Nicole, Vintage Glam Studio, and then Britannia Nicole for both of these. This box is all Britannia Nicole, as is this. This is Vintage Glam Studio, and then this is a little strip left from Britannia Nicole. This is another leftover strip, as is this one. And then the little things from Britannia Nicole. This is a Vintage Glam Studio, as is this. More Vintage Glam Studio, more Britannia Nicole, and then I think that finishes out the week. So I really managed to use leftovers for being a pretty, this half was pretty busy. This half was a pretty quiet week since it was mostly family time. The fact that I managed to do it with only 5 monthly full boxes, no actual full boxes, I think was pretty impressive. I'm actually surprised that I made that all work out. And it filled out pretty well, but I do think that it turned out really cute. So that's all I have for today. As always, please like and subscribe below if you haven't already. I really appreciate it. It helps me out. Let me know how your week went down below, or any highlights, or if you don't have anything to say, leave me some sort of patriotic emoji or just a star if you are not American and therefore don't care about any of this. And then also follow me on Instagram at Creative Life of Liz. I show in progress and finished spreads. I tag all the shop, show you bits and pieces of my life, what I'm reading, all that good stuff. And until next time, bye.